Welcome back to Strong Man Personal Finance. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Christopher Belly. I'm a certified CPA accountant. I'm a long-term boglehead investor. I'm author of the book Stop Being a Broke Loser. It's on Amazon. And we're going to do a reaction to this Dave Ramsey Show highlights video called, "Is Paying Off Your House Early a Huge Mistake?" Ramsey Show reacts. Now, Dave Ramsey has gone on a hiring spree, okay? And he's hired a couple doofuses, total freaking clowns, that just slurp up everything that Dave Ramsey tells them. "Oh, Dave, you're so amazing. Oh, your juice is so delicious. Oh, Davey Poo." And they're just spouting out a bunch of freaking nonsense that is poisoning the minds and the wealth of people worldwide. Now, let me tell you what Strong Man does, okay? I have a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, okay? I did not take a 15-year mortgage. My interest rate is 2.89%. I make my mortgage payment, which stays the same forever and ever and ever, every single month. And I have extra money, which I can use to buy the Vanguard Total World Stock Market Index in a tax advantage account. Because I believe buying every company in the world at market cap weights is a far superior way to build wealth than paying off a stupid house, okay? And guess what? Even if you pay off your house, what are you going to do with that money? Oh, it's locked up in your house. You're going to have to take a home equity loan and pay interest, or you're just going to have to sell your house, potentially pay taxes, depending if it appreciated a lot, and go buy a new house. Homes are dumb, okay? I hate homes. This house, I hate this freaking house. I hate it. So let's watch this doofus react to this TikTok video, and then let's hear his pissant response to it.
And we get a lot of hate for our take.
Hey guys, yeah, Dave Ramsey's so amazing.
On mortgages that you shouldn't have one. It's a hot take that you should pay your mortgage off because then you can really live and give like no one else and build wealth. So let's watch this video, and I'll let you know my thoughts after.
All right. Well, first of all, Strong Man ain't going to give that much until he's really wealthy. At some point, if I'm super rich, yeah, I'm going to give. But guess what? You should not focus on giving when you're barely making ends meet, okay? Once you get wealthy, sure, give to charity all you want. But right now, if you're not maxing your Roth, you're barely paying off your credit card, you shouldn't be freaking giving, okay?
Paying off your mortgage early isn't always a great idea. Let me show you why. Let's say that you have a $300,000 mortgage at a 4% interest rate for 30 years. Your payment is
What is he writing down? You think he's actually doing these calculations? No, that's like something Dave Ramsey does. He's literally just copying Dave. Oh, he doesn't know. You think he knows how to amortize a mortgage? No, he doesn't.
$1,400. You have an extra $1,000 that you can use to either pay off your mortgage faster or invest. Let's look at what happens in both cases. If you use your $1,000 to pay off your mortgage faster, you'll pay off your mortgage in 13 years and save $120K worth of interest. Now start
what? He's probably drawing a dick on his notepad or something.
Investing all of that $2,400. 17 years later, you'll have $1 million, assuming an average 8% return. Now let's look at if you invest the $1,000 instead of paying off your mortgage. Over the same
this young lady seems to make a lot of sense to me.
30 years, you'll pay $128,000 more in interest, but you'll have $1.4 million in investments. Paying off your mortgage early would cost you $300,000 in total wealth. That's a lot of money. Sure, you've saved a...
Oh, you see the little smirk on his stupid face? And on top of that, if you invest your money, you own every company in the world, and you can sell it. Like, let's say I want to sell my mutual funds when I'm 62. I go on Vanguard or Fidelity, and I click sell. And then money comes into my bank. Oh, but you paid off your mortgage. I need money. Oh, wait, it's all in my house. See the problem there?
A bit on interest, but you lost money in the long run. That's why it's so important that you understand the way personal finance actually works. That way you can crunch the numbers and choose the path that makes the most financial sense for you.
Oh, so that's how personal finance actually works.
Yeah, my name is Christopher Belly, and I have a 30-year mortgage, and I max my tax advantage accounts because I have extra money. I do that consistently. I mean, I've shown my portfolio before. Is this hard, ladies and gentlemen? Is this hard? You can't listen to fanatics like this that have been brainwashed by old Davey Poo. He's probably going to demonetize this video. Every time I put a Dave Ramsey video up, it gets demonetized. What are you doing, that young whippersnapper? I'm older than you, boy. What are you doing? You don't know anything, boy. Davey, remember you went bankrupt in your 20s? And I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in tax advantage accounts and total world index funds. Oh, almost like I'm doing better than you, at least at that age.
Oh my goodness. Well, if I had known that, I would have gotten to way more debt, because apparently you can make millions by going into debt and staying in debt. Okay.
You can if you have a low rate mortgage. Absolutely. When he talks about debt, if you want to buy a house, you have to go into debt. I mean, come on. Do you think the average person is going to be able to afford it? Okay, I spent $254,000 on this house. I mean, okay, maybe I could have paid for it in cash if I liquidated all my savings and put it into this freaking house. Cashed out my 401k, everything. Sure, I could have bought this house cash, but that would have wrecked years and years of wealth building that I have done building my money in the stock market. This is a freaking joke. Being in debt with a mortgage is normal. You cannot afford to buy a house outright. You gotta borrow money. And the interest rates are really, really low. Okay, at least they were if you bought recently.
A lot of numbers were thrown out there. You can ignore the numbers for now. It's too much to keep in your brain. I tried to write some of it down. It's just too much.
Let me simplify this for you. Money goes into one house, or money goes into every company in the world. Is this hard? Is this hard? It's rocket science, bro.
But here's the deal. As a guy who paid off his house, and some people have said, well, that was a dumb thing to do. You should have invested the money. Listen, it's hard enough for me to sleep at night with everything going on in the world, but I sleep a whole lot better knowing my home is paid for. And
My home not being paid for doesn't bother me in the slightest. Even if I lost my job, okay, I'll dip into my savings to pay the mortgage until I find a new one. This mortgage doesn't scare me at all. You have to be a freaking debt-phobic fanatic to be worried about your mortgage. Oh, I can't sleep at night because of my mortgage. You know what makes me not sleep at night? Not being able to max my tax advantage accounts.
I don't owe anyone anything. And here's the thing. People come at us and go, well, you still have taxes and insurance, so you'll always have payments. You must be real fun at parties if that's how you think and talk to people.
Boy, I can party way harder than you can, you little dweeb.
So when it comes to the mortgage, you're right. On paper, you can do better. If life works out perfectly for you and you magically have an extra $1,000 sitting around, which, news alert, most Americans don't because they're broke.
You would, because you're not paying a higher mortgage payment. You would literally have more money in your account because you're not paying a higher mortgage payment.
Then yes, on paper, if it works out perfectly and you get your exact return every single year and
You don't get exact returns every year in the stock market. It goes down massively, it goes up massively. But in the long run, you average out to a decent return. That's how it works, you freaking doofus. Is the stock market a massive bond? Is that how it works?
That exact mortgage scenario, sure, you could end up with a few $100,000 more.
Oh, yeah, it's only a few $100,000 more if it works out magically. Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, Strongman does it. It's so crazy.
But the truth is, 99.9% of Americans aren't doing that, will not do that, can't do that. They don't have extra money laying around. And if you think that if I did have extra money, it would all go towards investing because I'm such an astute investor, you're also wrong. Because we know lifestyle creep happens, life happens.
Okay, this is where this really pisses me off. So the whole purpose of Dave Ramsey's course, books, is to teach people to fix their mindset and to work to improve their financial lives. So if you can convince somebody to pay off their mortgage faster, that's just as easy to convince somebody to max their tax advantage accounts. How is it any more difficult if you're getting people on the right track financially and they're willing to listen to you, and if they buy your course, maybe they are willing to listen to you. How hard is it to say, hey, to really build wealth, this extra $1,000, put it into here instead of here. It's the same thing. It's a choice. If they're fixing themselves, it's a choice, one or the other. It's not hard. So his whole argument, the average person doesn't have extra money, and where are they going to find that extra money? Well, if they have a lower mortgage payment, you literally have if you have a lower mortgage payment, you literally have extra money. Okay? It's common sense.
A vacation pops up, a wedding pops up, a funeral. Life just happens. HVAC goes out. And so what happens is the people that do that generally don't have an emergency fund, don't have extra money.
I have an emergency fund. I've maxed my Roth the past 3 or 4 years. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in my tax advantage accounts. Crazy.
And if they do, they're probably hanging out in Reddit threads, talking about how much Dave doesn't know about personal finance, which is
I'm on YouTube, boy, and I know Dave is a charlatan.
Totally fine. You are entitled to your opinion. It is a free country, and you're entitled to have to be wrong. That's part of
Oh, boy. What a doofus.
freedom. So to that point, here's what I'll say. That video is clearly geared towards younger people, which frustrates me because young people in their 20s are starting to fall for these traps, and they're starting to believe that debt is a tool to be leveraged, and you can create
It's a trap to have extra money to be able to max your tax advantage accounts. It's a trap, ladies and gentlemen. It's a trap!
so much wealth by leveraging debt. And so to that I say, what if we didn't have payments and we invested the money? What would that turn into? How much life
A lot less because you're not compounding as long.
could we live in the meantime before retirement? Before we have $1.4 million, there's a lot of life in between, isn't there? We want to raise family.
Yeah, my life's pretty good. I have a lot of money in my savings and my tax advantage accounts, and I know I'm going to be set for retirement because I didn't take out a 15-year loan and pay extra payments because I can invest more. Yeah, my life's so horrible, It's a tragedy.
Families, we want to send our kids to college debt-free. We want to go on amazing vacations. We want to...
And how do you save for your kids' college if you're focusing on paying your mortgage off, doofus? If you have a higher mortgage payment, it's harder to save for your kids' college. And oh, by the way, I am saving for my kids' college. I'm putting $50 a month into each one of my kids' 529 plans. And you know why I can do that, doofus? Because I don't have a 15-year loan. Oh boy, when is this going to end?
give generously. And what I have found is that payments in your life hold you back from doing all that in the meantime.
Okay, when you have a 15-year mortgage, you still have a payment. You're saving on interest. You still have a payment. Either way, you're going to have a payment. One payment's smaller and lasts longer. One payment's bigger and lasts shorter. But the smaller payment allows you more financial flexibility, especially in a recession. Oh, what if you lose your job? Well, you have a smaller mortgage payment, so you're less likely to go freaking bankrupt.
Over the next 30 years of your working life. And so that is why I advocate for paying off your mortgage early. And we've debunked many times the idea of you guys should hang on to your mortgage for the tax deduction. No, we debunk this all the time at our live events and Financial Peace.
Oh, I agree with that. I mean, a lot of people don't itemize. A lot of people don't. So I actually agree with that.
University, you're trading $1 for a quarter. If you're keeping your mortgage around for the tax deduction because you want to pay your lender $10,000 instead of sending the IRS $2,500, that's just bad math. So
he at least got one thing right in the video.
all that to say, please stop making videos that are hurting young people. I want them to win financially. I want them to live a debt-free life, not only because of...
Is this guy appealing to you? I mean, honestly, like, I sit here with a pink hat, I take my shirt off, I screech, I act like a freaking clown. I'm more appealing to young people with all that lunacy than this freaking squeaky clean freaking doofus. Nobody likes this guy. Who likes him? It's probably some old grandma. Oh, yeah, I would have dated him back in the day. He's a swipple young man. You think a teenager's going to look at this doofus and want to listen to him? Please.
The financial side, but the psychological side, the spiritual side. We're seeing so much anxiety and depression with these younger generations. And
it's because they have 30-year mortgages.
A huge part of that is because of money fears.
Because they have student loans.
Money problems, money issues. And so I think if we can get rid of that aspect, we can then focus on other things. We can be more selfless, focus on others more, find opportunities where we can help others because we're not so focused and dialed in on our own money problems. So that's my encouragement to you guys. Take.
Aw, thanks, buddy. What a freaking dweeb. Anyway, Dave always says nobody has a 30-year mortgage and invests the difference. I literally do that. Okay, it's not hard. It's really easy, and the math makes sense. But whatever. You can pay off your little house in, one city, in one town, in one state, in one country, and I'll continue to buy every country in the world and never pay taxes again. Your choice. Choose!